Welcome back to the Birdcage. I'm Jack Kenna, joined alongside Kolton Kennon and Emmett Swendseid. How
Hey,
was that
you got it
pronunciation?
right.
Yo, yep. Money. Better than when Colton tried to say it.
Okay, I'll take it. The Kansas Jayhawks have a big game tomorrow. And does anybody know what this is called? Vegas Showdown or something like
It's
that?
like let me look up. It was like something different than usual that they're playing in. It's the
Next week, it's called or next year.
it's called the Terry's Chocolate Vegas Showdown.
Okay, the Vegas Showdown between the Duke Blue Devils. This is probably my favorite game of the week. And we have the Maui Invitational, the Player Eras Festival. This is my game. This is the game I'm most excited for. I'm sure you guys are too, being students here, being KU fans. What do you guys think? What do you guys think is going to happen? Before we
I
kind
mean,
of go deep, take a deep dive into it, I kind of want to get your guys' initial thoughts. What do you guys think happens?
whenever you look at both rosters, it's really like a rookie roster compared to a veteran roster. So I'm excited to see how well the young Duke team, besides Tyrese Proctor, he's been there for a little bit, but like Cooper Flagg, Kneppel, they've played very well all season, but they're also getting guarded by DeJuan Harris, potentially AJ Storr, Zeke Mayo, and then Hunter Dickinson. So a lot more experience on the Kansas side, but Duke played a really experienced Arizona team last week, and Duke played really well against them, or on Friday, and Duke played really well. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to see the matchup between veterans and then like rookies, pretty much.
How about you,
Colton,
Emmett?
Colton basically said what I said. It's gonna be interesting to see three really good freshmen from Duke potentially all getting drafted go up against a veteran squad with KU. And I was thinking about that how obviously they took down Arizona, and I was high on them to start the year, but honestly, I don't know if they know what they're getting into when they come to the Big 12. I just think it's a different type of basketball. I think it'll be obviously this is not a home game for Kansas, but as Colton mentioned, you have Cooper Flagg, you have Tyrese Proctor being guarded by guys like AJ Storr, DeJuan Harris, who arguably one of the best defenders in the country on ball. Shaquille Moore, if he gets more playing time, Bill Self mentioned that's KU's best on-ball defender, even over Harris. I think it'll be interesting to see a bunch of rookies who are very talented go up against a talented veteran squad for sure.
Yeah, and you give the best coach, arguably of all time, a week to prepare. Kansas's last game was against UNC Wilmington, and that game was a while ago.
Yeah.
That
November 19th.
November 19th. It
So
has been
they had literally a week because they played
they've had
last
a
Saturday.
week to prepare for Duke. In that
I just
game,
don't know
DeJuan
if they're
Harris
gonna.
shined.
Do you think they're gonna throw, like you said, a week? So I think Kansas will be prepared, and I think they're gonna play to win. But I don't know if they're gonna show everything just because it's so early in the season.
That no team will.
Yeah,
I don't think a really good coached team is going to throw everything out there, but it's still going to be a game that shows the coaching abilities of Bill Self. Hopefully, against Michigan State, I thought Tom Izzo did a fantastic job, and I felt like Bill Self was kind of like, guys, you're like the better team, go out and win. And this can't be one of those games because I genuinely don't know if Kansas is the better team.
it's interesting.
This Duke team is really talented. They're just
Team is
young.
really good. And I think the only way that KU could potentially pull it off is just being veteran guards or being like a veteran team because you see these like Cooper Flagg, obviously he like lottery pick, very good. But you saw against Kentucky down the stretch in a clutch moment, two back-to-back turnovers. There's little rookie mistakes like that that maybe Kansas takes advantage of because that's just gonna happen when you're 17, when you're 18 years old. It's freshman stuff and it happens to anyone, but just being veterans, maybe they take that to their advantage.
And Duke's coming off a huge win. You touched on it earlier. They beat Arizona, who is
Still a good win.
a preseason top 10 win. They lost to Wisconsin.
That was
They
bad.
they lost to Duke. Wisconsin or Arizona's not having the best start to the year, but they're still a talented team. This game is going to tell a lot about the what Kansas can do, and I think it's also going to say what Duke's capable of doing. I had Duke winning the national championship preseason. when they lost to Kentucky. That didn't scare me away. I think these freshmen are just going to continue to get better. I think Kansas wins one way, and that's to use Hunter Dickinson.
It's the most boring way, but it'll be the most
Yeah.
effective.
That's
Well,
how Kansas wins this game.
and I say use Hunter Dickinson, and I say get Flory activated because he's way more athletic than Dickinson, so he can be well used as well. I think you got to get them going to win
Has
that game
Kansas
out.
had a lineup out there with Flory and Hunter Jensen out there or no?
They did. They actually played that lineup a lot during the Michigan State game because KJ Adams wasn't fully healthy, and so
Did
Bill
you were
Self was
there? So
monitoring those minutes.
did it work really well or like was Hunter Jensen
I
more
felt
out?
like it was good. I
Did
felt like
Hunter
that lineup was
They
good.
pulled out a solid
Flory's
win, obviously.
Flory's so athletic.
Yeah,
And you can't let him sit on the bench. You have to find ways to get him. I understand he's not going to start over Hunter Dickinson. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you need to find ways to get him on the floor because he can do a lot of things. I
Mhm.
think he showcases his age and his experience on the defensive end because he fouls a ton.
Yeah.
But he looks really good offensively.
yeah. No, I completely agree. Obviously, you can't start him over Dickinson. He's a key part of Kansas team. But yeah, you gotta get him going. I think that'll definitely help that'll help something.
Who do you think is the best player on the floor tomorrow night?
Cooper Flagg. Like
Yeah,
I mean the
like
most talented Cooper Flagg, but it just depends on how well Dickinson can guard him because we've seen sometimes Dickinson gets lazy
yeah,
defensive
he
and then
doesn't have a lot of
if
energy.
I don't think Dickinson can guard him. I don't think that's going to be the
No,
match.
he because that's the thing
do you
is if they
think? I
pull,
mean, I think they might put Flory out there, have him guard him, but also I mean, Cooper Flag. How tall is Cooper Flag? 6'11", 6'10".
Yeah. But
I mean, you
he's not their
could.
center. He's their power
Yeah,
forward.
I'm
yeah,
saying you
I say
They
could
have
put
put
like,
like
Malawak playing
you
the
almost gotta
five.
put KJ. I feel like KJ's like he did a really good job in the UNC game of keeping those quick guards in front of him for the
I
most
feel
part.
like,
If
dude,
KJ Adams is going to be
even if you
guarding
put
Cooper
like,
Flagg, he might have 40.
yeah, I mean, even if you put like Rylan Griffin on him or Zeke Mayo, because they're tall, 6'8", 6'9", but they're not 6'11". But like you said, Jet, if I think if KJ Adams starts, Cooper Flagg's dropping 40. Like he's too NBA oriented to let KJ Adams stop him.
I'm going to pull a
Yeah,
little.
and I'm not mad about that when I said it, but like just I guess to show how good Cooper Flag is, who is gonna guard him then?
Here's what needs to happen is they're going to have to take a little thing out of UTRGV's book when UTRGV put Creighton. Let him have 80 points. Just outscore him. If you can match up with everybody else on the floor, let him have 40.
Dude, but then dude, I'm just saying, like I totally that's not like a bad plan, but if you're DeJuan Harris or whichever guards, then you can't let Knappel just make three threes in a row because we've seen it
Yeah,
so
no.
much this year.
You can't
Because
let
Ed
anybody
is
get
good.
hot. You can't let
Ed
Tyrese
is good.
Proctor control the game. You can't let Con Knipple run off of threes and go under screens. Like
Exactly.
you can't if that's your game plan, because that was Michigan State's game plan with Hunter Dickinson. And if that's your game plan, fine. But then nobody else can be contributing at all if you want a chance to win this game.
I don't think Coach Self will double him. Like I
You
don't.
don't.
I don't think that'll happen either. 100% it won't.
And
Because
also, you're
there's too
relying on
many
an
of the guys
18-year-old
who can
kid.
score.
You're
This
relying on an
reminds
18-year-old kid to hit shots.
I
So
feel like this reminds me so much. Obviously, the stakes were a lot higher when this happened, but it was like Michigan State versus Duke in the tournament when Duke had like Zion, RJ Barrett, and Cam Reddish, like three straight freshmen, and then Michigan State was just all veterans. But I mean, in the regular season, it tends to show like all the freshmen, like that for Duke freshman team, and then so far this year, other than Kentucky, like I mean, they play really well. You just don't see it happen a lot late in in the postseason. They'll continue to play well, but I mean, Cooper Flag is. I don't think he's like a better player than Zion was, but he's insanely good. So it'll just be cool to see. Like I think he had his rookie moment against Kentucky, if that makes sense.
That's exactly what I was trying to
Yeah.
point out earlier. Is that was like his freshman rookie. Yeah,
his freshman mistake.
Was against Kentucky. Like I don't think he's gonna have another one. But if he goes for 30 and Kansas wins, I'm pretty sure Coach Self like doesn't care.
yeah,
Yeah,
he will
no.
not care. Well, and yeah, then you could go to Jack's point too. We could have he could break the scoring record. If KU wins, he'll be like, all right.
Yeah.
He could have 60 points, but
Yeah,
if KU
he
gets
could
the
go for
win,
80.
if KU wins the game, Coach Self doesn't care. He's so talented. It's like, I don't know. Just you can't, one guy, I'm a big believer in one guy can't beat you. However, two guys can beat you. You can't let more than one person get hot. If Cooper Flagg has 40,
But
because
everyone
that's
else
your
is,
game plan is let Cooper Flagg score, and Con Knipple has 22,
Yeah, it's
Kansas is losing the game.
yeah.
yeah.
If Cooper Flagg has 40 and Con has 4 points off free throws and maybe a layup, and Tyrese Proctor has to take the most shots for Duke, other than Flagg, you win the game.
Another thing is rebounding. Hunter Dickinson's gonna have to get back on defense because, like I said, he gets a little lazy. But if he misses one of those layups, like he usually misses a layup a game, I'm not gonna lie, but he'll like kind of jog back on defense.
Put his head down.
Cooper Flagg is gonna, and if KJ Adams starts Cooper Flagg will have 20 rebounds. He's
It's
just
going to be, yeah, you're right. KU's won the rebounding battle in some of those closer games, but it's been pretty close against North Carolina and Michigan State. And this is a game where Duke will be able to thrive on the defensive glass and push and transition if we can't match up and get back on defense. Before we kind of talk about final score and predictions, what do you guys think the starting lineup that Kansas puts out tomorrow is going to be?
you want to go Emmett or me?
You
I
could go.
don't.
I'm trying to think just because it switches so much.
I
It's been
don't
switching, but I think the past few games it's been pretty standard and stationary.
I don't think Coach Self will do it, but I think it would be cool if they start Flory too instead of Rylan Griffin just for height. Just, but I don't. They're not going to do it. I think it'll be DeJuan Harris, KJ Adams, Hunter Dickinson, Rylan Griffin, and Zeke Mayo. I want to see AJ Storr in the lineup, starting lineup too, but because he's the most talented player on Kansas's roster.
I,
But I
I
don't
think
think
he
they're.
is.
I think it'll be those five,
I,
and I don't think they should start KJ Adams, but that's just,
I think it'll be those. I think it'll be those five too because
I agree.
you see them. I mean, DeJuan Harris, Adams, and Dickinson are always going to start. I feel like, and they love. And I feel like Adams will always start because they love to run that high to low post at the free throw line with Adams and Dickinson, and then get Harris involved up the screen, and then you just throw in two shooters with Zeke Mayo and Rylan Griffin.
Yeah,
dude. But
I agree.
could literally like if KJ Adams is past the free throw line, dude, the person guarding him, like the dude player, can just like have an easy possession because like he's just no threat from outside the free throw line.
No, but he does so much on the defensive end, and
He's an energy
I
guy.
mean, he's a key part to what Kansas does.
I don't
So
think
I
he's
understand the criticism to an extent, but he's definitely deserving of a spot, I think. I have a question, and revolves around number two, AJ Storr. AJ Storr, Kansas paid a lot of money for him to come here and play basketball at a high level, something that he has shown flashes of, but hasn't consistently done on a game to game basis, and finds himself out of the starting lineup when I think he is clearly the most talented player on our team. Maybe behind Dickinson. I feel like Dickinson's very talented for what he does, but he's also 7'2". Like I
Yeah,
think AJ Storr is just really good at basketball, and he just is coming off the bench. Do you guys think his attitude, his effort, whatever it may be, is going to switch maybe mid-season if he's still coming off the bench? Or do you think like yeah, do you
I
guys
could
think he'll
see it.
find his role in the starting lineup?
I could see. I hope he finds his role in the starting lineup, and maybe I'm wrong but it's just it's hard to see how he stays faithful throughout the whole season when he's been to a new school every year of his life. Like
and
I
if he
feel
doesn't
like
even starts, he's gonna hit the transfer portal again.
yeah, I don't. I think if he doesn't start anytime soon, especially if he figures out like how to fit into the system, he's gone. He's gonna want to go start somewhere else. He's gonna say, "I played at Kansas and I got this much money in NIL," and he's gonna use that. He's been to a new school every year. I mean, it's just hard to
Started
see.
at St. John's, went to Wisconsin, had a
Well,
great
even
year at
high school,
Wisconsin.
didn't he go to four different high schools or three.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
think after his
you
sophomore year,
you're more of a high school basketball guy than I am.
I
So
He
think
should
I
have
think
stayed
he
at St.
stayed.
John, bro. Rip
I think
15.
his freshman year and sophomore year were at the same school, and then junior and senior year he went to another school, two
it
separate schools.
it's really hard. And the way tampering works in college basketball now, and just in college athletics in general, you think he's not going to get you. I don't want to say it, but like I'm sure somebody was reaching out to AJ Storr midway, halfway through his season last year at Wisconsin. It was like, hey, come play for us. Whether
Yeah.
that was Alabama and Nate Oates, whether that was Villanova, KU, Duke, it happened. I'm not saying he was checked out, but you can tell like he kind of knew he wasn't going to finish his playing career at Wisconsin. And that scares me because with a player of his caliber and a player as talented as AJ Storr is, what makes him stay at KU if he's going to come off the bench?
I mean, you said it perfectly. It's not the same, but it's like when Remy Martin came here, he was the guy at Arizona State, but it was also Remy Martin's last year of eligibility. So he had nothing to lose. He knew he accepted he was going to be the sixth man. This was his last year, so why not put it
Remy
all
Martin was a team player. As much as
exactly.
he
Because
was the
I think
guy,
he's a better attitude than Store.
well,
I'm
I think Storr hasn't shown any flashes of being upset. But
No,
also,
100%. I'm
Is
saying,
Storr maybe thinking that this is temporary until he gets kind of in his rhythm and understands everything?
well,
I
and I'm
mean,
hoping, and
who do you think him out of the start? Who does he go in the starting lineup for? Rylan Griffin. So I think Zeke
Griffin.
Mayo is better.
It would be
I
Rylan
think Zeke
Griffin.
Mayo needs to start. I think Zeke Mayo needs to start.
Zeke Mayo's a lock, and you're not. And Bill Self's already said he's starting Dewan, KJ, and Hunter.
They should start him
Yeah,
with KJ.
exactly.
They
What?
should they should start him instead of KJ Adams. I'm not kidding.
That would be an interesting for a game. I just don't
Yeah,
think Self is
maybe
going to do that.
maybe you could have started them against like Oakland and done that and tested it out.
Bro, AJ Storr is better than KJ Adams.
We're not saying he's not. I'm just
I
Oh
saying
yeah,
it's not
I'm
going
not
to
saying to
happen.
say that, but like AJ Storr is not a power forward, and like playing a small ball lineup in a situation where we're playing a or where KU's playing.
We're playing 6'11", 6'11" in the front court.
AJ Storr will be
Alawak might be 7 foot.
AJ Storr would guard Cooper Flagg better than KJ Adams would.
Get out of here.
Dude, I'm
AJ
not
Storr
You're
kidding.
doesn't play
lying.
defense.
You're
How can you
lying.
possibly
You're
say that?
lying. You're lying.
Bro, KJ
Alawak is
Adams,
7'2".
I may think KJ Adams is better at defense than he really is, and I'll die on that hill. But he will guard Cooper Flag better than Store will.
Okay,
he'll
we're sitting here like this is even going to be a possibility when
yeah,
Cooper
I won't.
Flagg is 6'11" and Malawak, their center, is 7'2".
Yeah, and Hunter Dickinson's gonna be in hell all night.
He
So
might be in hell.
that's why you got to match up
Hey,
with Thor. I
what?
think that's why I think that they start out with Hunter Dickinson, but if he can't figure it out, you put another athletic freshman on Malawak.
You can't put Flory in.
Lori's
He's
gonna
gonna
foul
foul.
Cooper Flagg 3 times in 10 seconds. I'm not
No, I'm
kidding.
not talking about Cooper Flat. I'm not talking about
You're
Corey
talking
Garrett.
about Malawak?
Yes,
He's gonna
like
foul him too.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's gonna
know, but
foul Malawak even
I'm
worse.
saying like maybe yeah, I don't know.
I think we could be in shambles. I'm super excited for the game. I think, what are you guys' score predictions for this one?
Wait, you think Coach Self throws a zone in at all or no?
No.
No.
Maybe, actually, maybe. I
Okay.
just don't like, I don't think with the Duke
It's
They
just,
shoot,
if you
shoot
say
too
it's
well. They shoot
shooters,
too.
it's just that they can all shoot.
with Michigan State, that would have worked. They shot like 7%, but you can't do that with
But you
Duke.
can't let Flag and Con Knipple just
And you
shoot.
can't let Flagg get the ball at the high post because he's gonna turn around and shoot it every time.
He's gonna
You
turn around and
can't,
get the range, or he's gonna kick it to Proctor or Knipple, and it's gonna be a three every
like,
position.
guys, Cooper Flagg was giving Anthony Davis buckets this summer. Let's not act like he can't give KJ buckets. Like this could be, I'm just telling you, this could be one of those
Oh,
games.
I'm not saying he won't. I'm
No,
just saying
I know. It's just I came to the realization when you said give it to Cooper Flagg at the high post. I literally just thought of him giving AD buckets,
yeah, he was the
and I was
only
like, this might be impossible.
he was the only college player on the team USA Select, and he was fitting
Their
right in.
best player.
He was handing out buckets for free.
Oh, the game's gonna be super fun. I'm excited to watch it.
It'll be
What are your
great.
guys' score predictions?
I got Duke 82, Kansas 75.
High scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I feel like it's either gonna be low scoring for some reason or high. I mean, I want Kansas. I think Kansas pulls it out. I think Kansas wins like 79-71.
I don't know. Duke's
I
my
don't know either.
preseason national champion, but that doesn't mean I don't think they're gonna fall or mess up, screw up against a veteran team. I think Coach Self's easily the better coach. Why is my face so red? Half my face, I'm like two-faced right now. Um, I think Bill Self's easily the better coach. I think Kansas has more guys than Duke has. I don't know what happens. I'm gonna say Kansas gets the win. I'm gonna kind of go something in the middle between you guys. I'm gonna go 82-78. 4-point win off free throws. Some DeJuan Harris free throws to close it out. That's what I got. I don't
I
know.
hope Kansas wins. I hope they win, but it'll be tough.
I think
It's gonna be close.
it's gonna be a good game. That's for sure. It's gonna be a
I think it'll live up to the hype that I'm seeing it to.
This
yeah.
game will be more fun than any football game on this week too. I feel like
Oh
this
yeah.
game is gonna be way more fun.
This, yeah,
I
game
think
of
so
the week
too.
regardless.
You guys have a podcast, right? You guys started a little NBA podcast.
Yeah,
Okay, so to close this out, I want you guys to kind of talk about that. What have you guys been kind of doing for that? How's it been so far?
it's a rough start. It was a rough
It's a
start.
rough start.
No,
Why?
no,
Well,
we
okay, that sounds bad. Not with the actual podcast. We recorded what, two or three great
yeah,
podcasts
in
in the
the
studio.
studio,
The
but
studio like broke down.
yeah,
Like we recorded three really good podcasts and we couldn't upload any of them. So now we
yes,
moved
so
to
Zoom.
you're doing with your podcast, Jack. We just put up our first one last week.
Yeah, we put it up last week. We hope to do 2 episodes a week, or unless something like big happens in the NBA season, we'll hop on, kind of like you do, like if an injury or something. But we're gonna film one tomorrow. It's called the Pivot Point Podcast.
The
So you
Pivot
should.
Point podcast. I'm gonna link that below.
We're gonna have to have Jack on for an
I,
episode too.
I'm
Oh,
an
Jack,
avid. Yeah, we watch a lot of NBA here, so I'll be able to give you guys some inputs. I'm gonna link that below. I'm definitely gonna check that out. I'm kind of excited for that.
Yeah, you need
sure.
to.
All
Okay.
righty, guys. I appreciate you guys spending your time with me
Sure.
this afternoon. I know you guys have stuff to do, so I appreciate it. I want you guys to have a very happy Thanksgiving, safe travels back home. Because Colton, when do you leave? Tomorrow?
I'm
He's
home.
home. That's why I didn't respond to you. He was asleep.
Oh my
I
God.
went home
I,
last
I just
night.
realized that because I was like, you don't have a flag in there. I was wondering if you were recording that on your bed, maybe. And then Emmett, you go back tomorrow, right?
Nah, dude, I'm going back today after this show. After this show at 1 o'clock.
Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna be home already. All
Yes, sir.
righty. Well, safe
We'll be
travels,
back on
Emmett.
Wednesday though. We'll be back on the show Wednesday, right?
We'll be back on Wednesday to give you guys a recap of Kansas Duke.
Yes,
It'll be
sir.
it'll be fun. We have a lot of great basketball, so I think that's what I'm most excited for is the games that we have today. And then yeah, because you'll be watching the Maui Invitational, I'm sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Love
And
that
then
too.
Players Era Festival. I would be more hyped for that if the Great Blue
Thanksgiving has
Jays
a
were
lot of
fully
good college
healthy and good at
basketball.
basketball, but they're bad and injured.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna scratch Creighton off for winning that tournament at all. And what else we have? We have Maui Players Era.
Atlantis, Battle for Atlantis.
Battle for Atlantis is gonna be good. And then I'm super excited. This is like my favorite game of the week is Kansas Duke.
For sure.
We have a lot of good games this week. A lot of episodes will be going on the podcast here in the next coming days. Appreciate you guys spending your time with me. And for you guys, see you guys later.